We've got a 70 series Land Cruiser here. The truck is brand new off the dealership. And one thing that the owner didn't like was the fact that it's white underneath the arches. So when we lift it, that's going to get exposed even more. So what we're going to do is coat it with a textured black, which is our bully liner. So we'll go ahead, we'll mask all this up. Now this is water-based, so it's a non-toxic. We've actually sanded this already. Just give it a quick Scotch-Brite wherever you can access it. We've cleaned it all down. What we're going to use is some adhesion promoter, some etch primer, let that flash off, and then we're going to hit it with the texture coat, put a couple of coats on, and that'll black all that out so it falls into shadow and doesn't take focus off the exterior coat. Also, it's going to protect it. So you can see the factory liner here, it's limited to where they've put it. So we're going to extend that and take it right out to these plastic or rubber mud flaps and right down to the fender flares. So we've got our guard opening masked up. Now what you didn't see before we did that is we got in there with a Scotch-Brite pad and we got some wax and grease remover, scuffed it all down. Now this being a new car, it's pretty clean. If you do have any dirt and that sort of thing, what you can get is like a wire wheel on your drill. You can get in here and you can abrade all that face to scuff it up, so that's another option. We've got it masked up, it's all clean, it's wiped down, it's dry. What we want to do first is, I've got an adhesion promoter, which is good for plastics. If there's any exposed plastics or hard to reach areas to sand, we're going to give it a mist coat of that. We're going to let that flash off. Then we're going to hit it with an etch primer, just a haze coat of that. We're not trying to cover it. Once that's dry, probably give that around 30 minutes. We're then going to grab our bully. So we've got our bully liner, we've got our gun. This has got an adjustable pressure here, so you can dial that in. We've got a compressor set on about 80 PSI. This will adjust your PSI anyway, so you can turn it up or down. It's always good. Now we've got the car masked up, but it's always good to have something, I guess as an eyebrow or a shadow to catch any overspray, because we're going to be shooting out to get on these back faces. But we'll show you how simple it is. So that's our first coat on. Now it's always good to get in there with a light and just have a look around. You're not going to get 100% coverage, and you can see here I've missed all these underfaces, so I'll get in there now and come in and blow those in. Now that's our first coat. You can let that sit for probably 40 odd minutes before you want to put another coat on. You'll see it'll matten off, which is all the water drying out of it. If you don't have the time, you can come back the next day and paint straight over. It'll stick, you don't need to touch it. So we'll blow those in. We'll let it flash off and we'll come back and we'll put the second coat on. If you do miss bits though, you can just dip in a brush or decant this and just brush in and get those hard to reach bits, which there will be some back faces on back of these bolts and everything that I haven't been able to get. But use your torch, get under and just brush them in. And then on your final coat, you can set it up that you get your texture nice. Reality is though, it's not an exterior coat here, so you're not going to pick any difference. You're going to get away with an average job. It'll look great. It's going to get covered in dirt and mud anyway. So all we want is it to be shadow, texture, extra layer that's going to give it a rubber coat to stop stones and everything flying up underneath. So we've got our arches coated. We ended up using 2 1-litre tins. There was a bit left over. That gave us 2 coats. They were 2 heavy coats. We've unmasked it. What we've been able to do is go in and brush those hard to get reach areas. Now the car's ready to go on the ground. Have a look. Everything falls out in the shadow.